Okay, hello, Duccio. How are you today?
Hello, beautifully amazing, and happy to be here with you for the interview and with all the people who will listen to and really grateful for their time.
Thank you. Where are you today?
I'm in Switzerland today.
Is it cold over there?
It's a bit cold. There was a little bit of snow for a few minutes. It's around between 5 Celsius and zero, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love to travel for my job, but when I'm at home, I really enjoy to stay at home. So
Yeah, I understand.
surrounded by nature. I think you can understand.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
in Colombia. It's
Mm.
nice and sunny out here.
So really the same. Switzerland and Colombia are
Yeah,
really,
just the
really
same.
very, very similar. Also dry and humid. No, nothing. No differences.
Okay. Okay, so great. We already have over 10 people with us, and we have Marisa from Peru. So let's ask who's joining us to tell us where they're coming from. We already told them where we are, and then we can start to share what things we want to share with them today.
Sure, sure.
Let's say hi to Marisa. You remember Marisa from Peru? She's the head of
Yes,
Health and Wellbeing.
yes, yes, yes. I remember
Oh,
her
there's
very
Catherine.
well.
Hola, Catherine. And we have Sebastian from Colombia. People from everywhere. So cool.
Beautiful. Yes, yes. The beauty of PSYCH-K is that it's internationally beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the beautiful things about it that I love is all the places that I've gotten to go that I hadn't been there before and the beautiful people that we meet everywhere.
Yes, different cultures and yeah, and something that is the same in all the people attracted by PSYCH-K.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
the essence. Yeah.
So we have people from Italy, from Uruguay, from Phoenix. Um, Sebastian is saying that he doesn't know you yet, but he wants to pretty soon, and he sends you greetings. So, so fun.
Beautiful.
Okay, Dee, so tell us a little bit about your story with PSYCH-K and what brought you to this amazing process.
Okay, actually, it was me, my desperate me, who brought me to PSYCH-K.
No,
Because
that's not your story. Didn't
I,
happen to me.
I, it's a long story, but long story short, I am an osteopath. I really love osteopathy and all the connection between mind and body. And during my research in osteopathy, I was really interested in the connection between mind and body. And in 2007, if I'm not wrong, I came in contact with Bruce Lipton's amazing book, Biology of Belief. And I was really looking for something simple and effective to help people not only working with their body. And when I reached the last page and I saw PSYCH-K, I said, okay, it was like a white hole, not a black hole, white hole attracting me. And I said, okay, this is, I need to know everything about that. So I checked the first workshop in Europe. I attended basic workshop, following with the advanced workshop. And I immediately knew this was for me. This is me, actually. Like every facilitator, PSYCH-K is not separate from us, but it's us. And I immediately started to work with myself because I was pretty a mess about self-esteem and a lot of stuff. So I was able to see the results with myself and how people recognize these results outside. So I started to use it in my practice too. And I saw there two beautiful results. And that's why now, since 2013, I decided to commit 100% to PSYCH-K, and I stopped to do osteopathy. I still love it, like many other methodologies, but my life is really PSYCH-K. And my passion, my two big passion in my life are for sure health and well-being. And even beyond that, it's spirituality, but spirituality in a beautiful way. It's remembering who I am. So looking for the enlightenment, really. So to look for my essence. And this is the most beautiful thing I can think of. And I'm so lucky to be able to do that as part of my job, if I can call it job, because it's my life. So I'm really blessed. Yeah, and
right.
This is my path. Yeah. And during I become also, for sure, I become a basic instructor, advanced instructor. And in 2011, Rob Williams, a PSYCH-K originator, asked me if I wanted to take care of the Health and Wellbeing program, where facilitators can learn how to work with PSYCH-K in a more effective way in order to reach and maintain an optimal health and well-being state.
So beautiful. So some questions about what you've already said. You mentioned how one of your passions is spirituality, and how does that link about finding your essence? How's that linked with the PSYCH-K proposal?
I can say that's everything. I think it's really the essence. Also, we are used to talk about health, job, relationships as different subjects, and they are different subjects for sure at a certain level. But once we are really able to see the big picture and to see that everything is connected, and at the more we are connected to our source, to our divine essence, the more everything else, relationship, health, job, money, and everything else will go in place. So I think it's really everything. So, and it's such a beautiful and easy way to have beauty in your life, to have success in your life, but not the usual description of success that just money. It's when you will be there, you will have plenty of resources also from the money point of view, but not because this is your goal. That's the point. Mm-hmm. And
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, for health it's really the same, because the title of the interview today was living longer or living an extraordinary life. It's for sure a little bit a provocative title, because I believe we already live forever, because we can say, for simplifying everything, that we are made of three major components that are body, mind, and spirit. And if we want to take these three components in our day-to-day life, we can talk about our body as a car, a beautiful car, very advanced car. Our mind, subconscious mind and conscious mind, as the driver, and our superconscious mind, or whatever you want to call it, as the co-pilot. That's really the real pilot, but it let us think that we are the real pilot, because we have also free will during this life.
And what is this about a superconscious mind? Because we may be very familiarized with the term, and yes, maybe those who are with us today, some of them already know it and some don't.
The superconscious mind is really our inner wisdom, is our essence, is the part of us that knows everything about our life path, what's safe and appropriate for us, and why we are here for. It's the part of us that has really all the wisdom and all the answers. And we can call it in any way, any possible way. Someone calls it spirit, soul, oneness, angels. If you don't believe in any of them, you just call it intuition. Mm-hmm. And it's one key part we work with with PSYCH-K, because with PSYCH-K we work with conscious mind, subconscious mind, and what's called superconscious mind. but you really name it in the way you prefer, so that's more familiar for you. So, okay. And the problem also related to health and about aging is that the majority of people believe that we are the car, that we are the body, okay? And that's why we are so obsessed with it. For sure, we have to take care of our body, to eat good food, to exercise, to have a regular maintenance of it. But if we focus too much or only on the car/body, we are really missing the big picture, that we are spiritual being having a human experience and not just flesh, bones, and organs. And the car is, in my perception, is a precious three-dimensional vehicle that our multi-dimensional spirit, superconscious, chose for this part of the evolution that's our life. And this part of our evolution is experienced through our conscious and subconscious mind, through our beliefs. So this is a kind of connection between our body, mind, and spirit. And our body has, we think that our body has beautiful self-repairing and regenerating mechanisms, but it's not like that. Actually, these mechanisms, these programs are managed by our mind, and mainly by our subconscious mind, who manages our autonomous nervous system. And proof of that it's not the body having these programs and of self-repairing and regenerating, is that this process would keep going also in a dead body if the body would be responsible for that. But when the mind, when the soul is not anymore inside the body, there is no regeneration process. So it's not the body itself, it's not the matter itself that's repairing itself. It's the program sent to the matter that allows the body to self-repair and to heal. And that's why, and another, I think, I've read this in a beautiful book, another really tangible and real three-dimensional example that we are not our body, we are way beyond that, we are our essence, spirit, whatever we want to call it, is that if you think about one man who has his consciousness, at a certain point of his life, this man has an accident. And for example, because of this accident, both of his legs have to be amputated. But not because his consciousness is not amputated. His consciousness, even if he is without legs, is still entirely there. For sure, he is affected by the accident, and some things needs to be there. But there is not an amputation of consciousness, of who we really are. Who we really are always stay there, even if the body is not anymore there. Okay? So it's really, I'm trying to offer some different perspective in order to help who's also listening to see body, health, and the aging process in a really different way, where all the three levels of the mind can collaborate. And that's why it's so important and critical to work with our mind, and particularly with our subconscious mind, to end with our spirit, to help and maintain an optimal health and well-being state, because it's these two components, the subconscious mind and the superconscious mind, under the conscious will and desire, are taking care of the body. So now we have talked about the car, the body. The mind, the driver, is very important too, because it drives the car, so it decides where it wants to go. And that's the subconscious mind mainly. It controls all the functions of the car. And usually it's able to repair the majority of the issues the car can have. Okay? But this according to the beliefs of the mind. So the mind can be a very good mechanic, car mechanic, or a very poor car mechanic, according to the beliefs of the driver. So if the driver is has a lot of limiting beliefs, like I cannot do that, I will never recover, I don't have enough energy, this is impossible, very likely the car will not have a very healthy life, because it's a consequence. If the driver is a very trained expert driver, the car will very likely have a much healthier life, because the driver will know exactly what to do when something happens. And I think that this is what we do with PSYCH-K. We train the driver. We let the driver grow, become more and more expert, so that we are able to take care of our body, the car, in the best possible way. And also, we need to be wise, because, like Rob Williams says, everything is possible, not probable. So sometimes, even if you are an expert driver, you will need someone, an external, someone helping you from the outside in order to help your car to recover, like surgery or anything else from medicine. Okay, so you need wisdom. Okay, you need to really recognize where you are, all your powers or your energies or your gifts, but also your limits, so that you don't exaggerate towards the other side. Okay. Really, it's so important to be able to train our subconscious mind and our mind, that's the driver, in the best possible way, so that the driver automatically takes care of the car, that's our body, in the best possible way. And we do that with PSYCH-K in a very effective and simple way. How? Because there is a third one. That's the co-driver. The co-driver, that's the superconscious or the spirit. And that has all the wisdom, okay? And imagine we are in our car, that's the body. Imagine I am the mind, and this is my spirit. Okay, this is the co-driver. This is my expression of the co-driver. It's my best representation. Okay, so during all our life, the spirit that's on our right or left, depending if you are driving in UK or somewhere else in the world, the co-driver who loves us unconditionally is always there to give us the best suggestions if we are willing to listen to him. And sometimes we are so busy in our life for our jobs, relationship, and so on, that we are not ready, willing, and able to listen to the spirit, the superconscious messages. So sometimes the superconscious says, Duccio, you need to stop. And I don't stop. I still go. I accelerate. Duccio, you need to stop. Duccio, you need to stop. I don't. So the spirit will say, okay, let's check if there is another more effective way to tell Duccio to stop. And says, okay, I will turn on all the hazard warning lights. So he will see that and he will stop. But like we do very often, we just put a piece of paper over all the lights. So we don't see the lights, but the lights are on, okay? And this is what we do when we have, for example, some pain. We take a painkiller without working first for what's related to the pain. I'm not saying do not take a painkiller. Sometimes it's absolutely necessary, but also work with what's behind that. And if I cover with a paper all the hazard warning lights, the spirit will say, okay, let me check if there is even something more effective I can pierce a wheel or damage the transmission, so he will be obliged to stop. And I'm talking about the body, okay? So at this point, when our body reaches a limit, we can have 3 options for sure, more than 3, but I can offer 3 options. We stop and we try to repair the car or body, but without listening to the superconscious, just trying to mechanically repair it. And sometimes the superconscious will come back in a hard way to tell you, you didn't listen to me. I have to find another way to have you listen to me. to listen to me. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Another option that we do with PSYCH-K very, very often, it's a very beautiful way to proceed, is that we listen to our spirit superconscious and we balance for what the message is, for what the superconscious is telling us. And then we put this in practice into our life. And there is a third way that's, I think, the most elegant and beautiful way, and it's also the simplest.
That's why it's the most elegant.
Exactly. But because of one little thing, that's trust, it can be also the most difficult. That means...
Oh, but that's a little thing.
Just a little thing, exactly. That we can use PSYCH-K to balance in order to let our spirit, wisdom, okay, to take care of everything, even beyond our consciousness. So in PSYCH-K, we don't need every time to know the reasons and to work with the reasons of something that's happening in order to transform a condition, because our system has all the information needed and can take care of everything if we believe that. But there is an issue, a control issue, because if the driver, me, that I don't know what's that, because I've never had
controlitis.
No, absolutely. I was completely a control freak. And if the mind is there with the wheel, it doesn't want to let go the wheel and say, okay, please.
Exactly. We believe it can crash.
Exactly. We believe it can crash. That's a crazy. And never leave the wheel if you don't believe 100% that he will take care. If not, you will crash. That's the point. So once we are able 100% to trust that this part of us, because this is us, is taking care of everything, we will be able to live, to take our hands off the wheel and to let this part of us drive. That's the most, as I said, beautiful, simple, and elegant way. And because it requires a lot of trust, also sometimes difficult, because okay, did my superconscious check really everything, or there is something more there? Maybe I will check if there is something more. Superconscious, I trust you, but it's just really to be 100% sure. And we are in this trap sometimes.
And it's a process, right?
It's a process.
When we started with PSYCH-K at the basic level, well, we probably come in because we have some ideas of things that are not going right. And we think that we because we get to choose the goal, which is a very important part to honor our conscious mind. And we go through the process in that way. And to reach what you're saying, it's a path. It's a journey.
It's a path. It's a path I'm still on. Absolutely. And regarding that, it's I've heard in the last years many people saying, "Oh, I have this health and well-being condition that I would love to transform. I have to come to the health and well-being workshop." For sure, you will learn how to manage in the best way possible, but don't be limited. You will be able to work with your health and well-being right after the basic workshop. So don't be limited by this belief. Exactly.
Then
so
during the basic, because
during the basic,
the beautiful third day to practice, and the second day where we learn how to use PSYCH-K in a daily life, and we start there.
Exactly. And actually, one of the most healing experience of, I think, our entire life is the Divine Integration Retreat that apparently has nothing about health, but really is dealing with the ES disease, illusion of separation disease, like Rob Williams calls it, and that's really the disease. And that's why the Divine Integration Retreat is really the essence of PSYCH-K, and it's the ultimate gift of PSYCH-K.
Beautiful. So maybe we could share with people who are watching that some of them I know they're facilitators because I've seen them from other workshops and other conversations with that, but some are not. So how's the path with PSYCH-K? How do we get to what you teach?
Oh, it's first to attend the basic workshop. Use it. Use it, read yourself and other friends. Apply. Then advanced workshop. And that by itself, wow, you will be at the first minute of the first day, and you will be really a different human being at the end of the fourth day. And then after the basic and the advanced, you can attend the health and well-being. And really, you can attend basic and advanced workshop all around the world with, I have no words to define the beauty and the skills of our instructors community. We are really blessed to be able to have such a web that covers all the world of amazing beings that are willing and able to share this methodology. And you really, if you look on the website, you can find workshop all around the world, and you cannot go wrong.
Yeah, beautiful. So we do the basic, we do the advanced, and then why go to the health and well-being program?
I think there are two main reasons. I've seen people who are in the health and well-being field, like medical doctors, chiropractors, osteopath, homeopath, or physiotherapist, holistic. So they want to have to know more on how to use PSYCH-K in a simple and effective way at the same time in the health and well-being field. And let's be clear, PSYCH-K is not a substitute for medicine. It's a complement, okay? It's something that can really be useful to join with official medicine, for example, or other kind of medicines. And I've seen also a lot of facilitators who just came for their own health. Because it's so important and so precious that they wanted to learn how to manage health and their health conditions in a different way, and how to really think differently. Because once you are able to see something that you are stuck with since a lot of years in a completely different way, and to see a solution and to balance for the solution and to put in practice this solution, really it's a miracle. And that's the main reason. Also, it's about really how to learn PSYCH-K in the health field in the best way. And there is also marvelous balance that Rob created, that's the Optimal Health and Wellbeing balance, where there are 22 pairs of goal statements regarding taken from the psychoneuroendocrino-immunology. And thanks to this balance, the the person who will experience this balance will be able to integrate the 22 programs, 22 beliefs that are common to the healthier, happier, most successful people in the world. So it's really a blessing. It's really a blessing.
So here is where we connect the theme of our invitation today about living better or living longer, because many times when people hear about health, we do a direct correlation with the physical body.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Actually, we don't use the word illness anymore in PSYCH-K. We talk about conditions or situations because it's far beyond the physical body. We can have conditions that are affecting us emotionally or mentally, and then the manifestation, it may or may not be in the physical body. But can you expand a little bit on this?
Yeah, it's really holistic. That's the definition of holistic. We tend to, I've talked about the car, the driver, and the co-driver to really give some different perspectives about the body, because health equal body. No, it's not like that. It's not only like that, okay? Yeah, sure, body is really important. Yeah, it's a part, but we are healthy when we are able. Okay, I think the simplest way is that to describe some of the key points that are worked in the optimal health and well-being balance. Because in order to have an optimal state of health and well-being, for example, we need to be able to manage and to release anger in a sociable, acceptable way, to be able to speak in an easy way with other people, to have a mission, a purpose in life, to have humor in our life. This was my super weak point. Because of my low self-esteem, I was super serious, and I had zero humor with myself, and so it was really a mess. And when after the balance started to really make fun of me, and it's so beautiful, so releasing, oh my God, it was life changing. So and for example, another key point for having an optimal health and well-being life is to have an exciting life, to have interest, to play with life, to be able to ask for help. This was another nightmare. I was not able to ask for help. Zero, okay? Nothing. So after this balance, I started to, okay, someone who offered, I said, yes, please, okay, I'm ready, okay. And now it's much easier. So there are so many components related to health that go beyond the body. The body is critical, but health is affecting every single part of our life. And also regarding aging, that was one the subject also of part of the subject of this interview. There are so many, like I said, there's an obsession about not aging and to staying forever young. But if we go back to what I said, and the spirit, the superconscious chose the specific car that's our body to experience this life, for example, for 85 years. And after these 85 years, the superconscious, the spirit is ready to move on for an even more extraordinary experience. Why do we want to trap our soul and our mind in a car that was supposed to stay here for 85 years old for 10, 20, 30 years more? It's a torture. It's not respectful. So instead of doing this, I can propose why instead of working for for having telomeres. The telomeres are the end part of the chromosome that have different functions, many of them not yet discovered, but it's responsible for the replication of the cells. So every time a cell replicates, the telomeres shorten until a certain point where the cell cannot replicate anymore. So now there is a huge hype about how can we have endless telomere so we can live forever.
Right.
But according to me, this is really not the point, because one is not respectful for our journey. But instead of spending this time and this energy about telomeres or other stuff like that, why don't we use our time to, for sure, take care, like you said during the basic workshop, about the most urgent thing in our life, like relationship, job, and so on, but then we move on. We balance to be the pure manifestation of our spirit, so that the driver and the co-driver become one. Okay, there is no separation. So no separation. So here, one. Okay, one. And then once we are one, it's a piece of cake to take care of the car/body in the best possible way, because it's our wisdom associated to our beautiful subconscious mind taking care of our body in the most beautiful divine way possible. And we will never go outside. We will never take a dangerous road or unnecessary roads when we will be one with our essence. And then respect divine timing. Really, it's if we are planned to be here 85, 90, let's respect that. Why we want to live forever?
Hours, because why we have babies that come for 2 hours, and then that was a contract, and
exactly.
Move on to another beautiful experience.
Exactly. So I was thinking about one question that could be useful in order to perceive in a different way the aging, and I think it's a kind of easy question, but can be really deep. And you can ask yourself when this interview is done, so you can, if you know PSYCH-K, you can work with that. If you don't know PSYCH-K, maybe after this question, you will be willing
You will be running to find a workshop.
Yes. Ask yourself, why do you fear aging? Maybe the answer would be, oh my God, judgment. Because you judge yourself, or you have fear of other people judging you, or loneliness, or that you are not useful for society, or that you will lose your beauty like when you were young. So there are a lot of components that can be behind the fear of aging. And once you have found your worry, your fear, you can ask yourself, what do you want instead? And balance for it. For example, just for example, because each one will have his or her own answer. If it's about judgment, fear of judgment, to accept yourself for who you are. If it's about loneliness, balance for creating a reality where you are surrounded by beautiful people, where you do a lot of activities with them. If you have fear of being excluded and not useful for society, balance for being useful for society. If you have fear of not being beautiful anymore, like when you were 30, 40, or 50, balance to perceive yourself even more beautiful. That the more you age, the more beautiful you become. It's really a different perception, and also change the perception of aging from moving from it's the end to I'm transforming and evolving in the most beautiful and extraordinary way. This could be a huge shift. Oh my God, no, it's the
perfectly divine way.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So these are just some food for thoughts.
Right.
if you have PSYCH-K, you can already
go back a little bit about what you were saying about the telomeres and all this rage that is now in science. The interesting thing about what we hear when we see messages on Facebook and we see programs on television about the dangers of this.
Exactly.
The interesting thing is that it creates stress and it creates fear. And that's actually counterintuitive because it's actually going, if there's more stress, the telomeres cannot replicate correctly.
Exactly. So it's a dog biting tail. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think this is where we come back again to the point of our conversation today is it's not about creating a solution outside. It's not about science creating a solution. It's about something that somebody was saying here in the comments. The program is already in place. We have that natural program. It's just going back to that.
Yeah. We have the most simple, elegant, and sophisticated program inside us. We just need to remember it.
Yeah. And to align with that.
Exactly. And to align. And to really put this into action into our life, because this was a mistake that I did at the beginning in PSYCH-K, because I said, oh my God, I'm able to transform so many things. I was balancing, but I was not putting into action what I was balancing. So I was doing tons of balancing, but I was not the 3D manifestation of my change. It was slower. And one thing is to believe, to work, to be peaceful, and to be peaceful when you are at the top of a mountain with no one around. Another thing is to work to be peaceful and to be able to be peaceful when you go to Walmart. Okay, that's another point. You will see that you are really peaceful, that you are really connected to your essence when you will be in peace, surrounded by the chaos also too. That's a real thing. And that's why we are experiencing this 3-dimensional life with this 3-dimensional body, in order to. It's really a beautiful way to see if what we are doing is just an illusion or it really works. And PSYCH-K, the one point in PSYCH-K is the action plan when needed. Okay. Right.
It's again tied also to our theme of this month in our Facebook page is how to be in harmony and in harmonious times, and the email that you sent us for the end of the year, how to be peaceful even when the outside world doesn't seem to be too much in peace.
Yeah. Like Rob said, is I don't know if sorry for my English is simple, it's not elegant. So I'm sure I'm with the simple. I'm working for the elegant, but it's eye of the tornado.
You need balance for that. Take some of your own medicine.
Oh yes, I will. Yeah. It's helping.
Yeah.
So it's like Rob said, like it's to be like the eye of the tornado. It's to be in the peaceful center, even where around you there is pure craziness. And you can check this in life, in real life, not just staying by yourself in a super peaceful place with no noise. Or this is very important. Stay in nature, yes, but then you need to put yourself in the game.
Right, to honor your human experience, your daily human experience, not to run away from it, but to live it fully.
Yes. And I think like you and like every other instructor, like every other facilitator listening, and I hope future facilitators, I cannot be grateful enough to Rob for being willing, ready to receive it and to share it in such a beautiful way, and to really be completely outside the guru energy, because the key point is not, oh my God, let's go to to Rob Williams or to the greatest actors. No, it's not like that. It's really our goal here is to help, to teach people how they can help themselves to become their own guru.
Exactly.
If not, it's a trap.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the beautiful things of the many beautiful things of this process is that we honor our humanity, that we honor that life happens, that life keeps on happening after a basic, after the advanced, after the divine. We're still going to have flights that are canceled. We're going to have moments where money is not enough. We're going to have moments where relationships end. It's life. And we have a beautiful process to keep building that peace within,
exactly.
among those, in the middle of those things.
Exactly. Because if I would have lost a flight 10 years ago,
No.
Okay, and I would have reacted in a certain way. If I will lose a flight now, okay, let's find a solution. Peace. First of all, peace, because with peace we can see solutions. If you're stressed, it's more difficult. So it's such a gift, such a really gift. And I had an intuition I would love to share with all of you. I shared with Rob, and Rob said, yes, please, if you have time, share during the interview. I was last week skiing at the mountain, and I was balancing for to go on with my inner peace regardless. And I had a beautiful intuition about a change in perspective about ego. Okay, so I'm just sharing. I'm not saying that's the truth. So if someone resonates, please use it. If you don't resonate, forget about it. And I've made so many battles against ego, and I've tried to put it down in any possible way. But last week, I realized that ego is not at all what I believed it was. Ego actually is the best way, is the tool our super conscious mind is giving us at the moment of our birth to show us the path. So the enemy is not the ego. The thing that causes trouble is not the ego. The ego is the master. It's telling us where our limits are. Our limit, according to my perception, is not being aware. It's when we are not aware that we are not able to see the gift of the ego that shows us all our limits. But it's not the ego that's our enemy. The ego is really a gift for us, for our evolution. What we need to be is to be aware so that we can see our ego, see our up and downs, and work for that. So
yeah, it's very beautiful because again, it's moving towards eliminating the illusion of separation.
Yes, and the conflict.
It's not like I'm going to put my ego on one side, because we can't. We're not parts. We're a whole thing, and we can honor all of that as one part that all comes from love, from the same divinity.
Yes, and this is just a very clear example how to shift one simple, huge perception has really changed a huge part of my life, because I moved from ego enemy to ego ally. It's an ally for my evolution.
Right.
And it's huge for me. So happy to share.
It's very beautiful what you're sharing, because it's again honoring our humanity, honoring everything that we are, and that everything that we are has a purpose.
Yes.
And that with PSYCH-K, what we can do, like what you're saying, is start to ask ourselves why I do the certain things, why I'm reacting in a certain way, why did I react it with the lost flight, or why I don't react anymore. instead of fighting those things.
Yes.
It's kind of more flowing with them and allowing them and then transforming them.
Yes, it is.
So Patricia is wondering what happened when you lose your flight now. What happens?
Oh, actually, I've not lost any flight in last.
Or when it gets canceled.
Oh, when he gets canceled, I find another flight.
Yeah, fun and easy. Or we just sit down and wait, and we enjoy the time that we're really given.
It's fun because something like that happened right before I was talking with Marta. Right a few minutes before connecting, I was not able to connect with the program, so I said, okay, moment of panic. I say, I cannot connect to the Facebook interview. I said, no, okay, there is a solution. Let's download this, put this. Done, 2 minutes, it was done. That was, and it was not even a balance. That's a result of all the balances that I've done. So keep calm and find a solution.
Okay? Very good.
That's the point.
Beautiful. Well, Duccio, anything else that you would like to share, because we're almost out of time. So
I think that I think that there are already some things to think about, and also remember to ask you that question. I think it can give you very precious information. Why do you fear aging? That's that one.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay.
So thank you. And it's been fun. It's been enlightening. And I hope that those of almost 60 people that have been with us today will find this useful and they can apply it.
Yes. And thank you for your time, and thank you for all the people who will watch it in a different time because of different time zone all around the world.
Yeah, we're going to have this, it's going to stay here on the Facebook page, and then we're going to also put it on YouTube for people to watch it there as well. So thank you, Duccio. Enjoy Switzerland, and I shall see you in Argentina for the Health and Wellbeing, and in Mexico, and for all of the other people who will enjoy your teaching. Blessed.
And thank you, and also really check for basic and advanced all around the world if you want to start this amazing journey.
Beautiful. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day wherever you are.